Hi, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh. This is the monthly general reading for the sign of Capricorn. Welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, the housekeeping is down below. So if you want to know how to book a reading, what deck that I'm using, which is Superlunaris Tarot, by the way, how to find different aspects of your birth chart, that's all down below there with the subscription button if you feel so inclined as to subscribe to the channel. Okay, so how this reading is going to work is that I'm going to pull 4 cards, one for each quarter of the month ahead, October, and then I will do a card for the overall energy, or how we can best use the energy of the month in order to be productive. So let's see what we have for the first week of October. And the first card we have for the first week of October is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is a card of self-limiting beliefs, being overly critical, overly self-critical, being mindful of the fact that you may well be in this negative headspace where you feel like you're not good enough. You may be struggling with your confidence this week, this first week of October. But it's very much that, I love that it's on a train track, because it's that negative train of thought. It's being trapped on a train can only go along in that track, right? It can only continue where it has rails, and it's almost like you're on this hemmed in to this negative thought pattern that you can't necessarily quite shake, and you can't get out of, and you can't get free of this negative thinking. If you require some sort of assistance, some help with that, absolutely go and speak to a professional. Go and speak to a counsellor, speak to a friend, reach out who can signpost you to where it is you need to go in order to get some kind of support with those negative thought processes. But yes, it's very much a lack of confidence, a lack of self-belief, a lack of self-worth this first week of October. So make sure that you're catching those negative thoughts and stopping them at the root, stopping them at source. As soon as you recognize that they're happening, recognize that it's there, and find a way to change your thought process, to change your thought pattern in order for you to change the programming. It's almost like you're programmed to think in that way. As soon as you get one negative thought, you just carry on that vein. So it's about nipping it in the bud and stopping it before you get carried away and a juggernaut of negative thoughts. Okay, let's see what we have for the second week of October. What do we have for the second week of October for Capricorn? Okay, that one. Okay, the second week of October is really good. We have the Ten of Cups, and this is a moment of joy, a moment of happiness, a moment of full and peak emotional fulfillment and contentment. If you work with spirit, if you work with your intuitive abilities, this is you absolutely feeling at the peak of your game with them. Full mastery of those emotions, full mastery of your experience with spirit. It could well be that you are looking to pass on your gifts, your emotional adaptability, those skills that you have, those tools that you have, onto the next generation. When it comes with the 10, there tends to be children involved. So it's about making sure you have those memories with family members, friendships, anything that you're emotionally connected to. Things in those sorts of relationships should be really good right now, including connection with self, your self-love, your self belief, your self-worth should all be relatively positive. Hope, or at least hope, is renewed. You know that sunshine is going to come again. If you've had this once, you can have it again. So know that it's not a once in a lifetime opportunity to be completely blissfully happy. You can find bliss and happiness again. We have light and dark in various waves as we move through our lives. So okay, let's see what we have for the third week of October. What do we have for the third week of October? This one here. We have the Hanged One, and the Hanged One is about being in limbo, or some form of but it's some form of waiting and being self-sacrifice, but it's kind of in some ways choosing to be in limbo, choosing to be in self-sacrifice. So I don't know if you're waiting for a decision on something, or you're waiting for feedback on something. If you're waiting, if this is the third week of October and you're in this card's coming through, it tends to mean that the wait is going to continue. You may not have control of the outcome, or you may not have control of when that news comes in, but you do have control of how you react to it and what you're going to do in that time. Are you going to be productive in that waiting period, or are you going to just sit there waiting and getting more and more frustrated with it? How are you acting a martyr while you're waiting, or are you being productive and trying to find the lessons that you can learn, or find other things, other inspiration while you're in that waiting period? It may well be that you're waiting for a reason that more information has to come in and you have no control over when that information comes forward. But what you can do is make sure that you are prepared for either outcome emotionally, and also gaining any wisdom that comes from this situation, from sitting there and waiting for news, or waiting for it's a big event because it's major arcana. It's a big thing that you're waiting for news on in order to progress, but it's not coming in that third week. Okay, let's see what we have for the final week of October. What do we have for the final week of those last few days of October? We have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands can be quite, I want to say, volatile with fire. It has all the power of fire. It has all the potential for the power of fire, but hasn't yet managed to harness that in any kind of focused way. So it may be that if you're still waiting for an outcome, you may be quick to temper. You may be quite frustrated. You may be getting all those agitated, angry, frustrated feelings and being unable to manage them necessarily, or to control them as much as you'd like them to. You may well be breathing fire. Maybe you're going all full dragon on people, but it comes from this waiting for something major, waiting for something great to come in, and the frustration of it not being done yet, or the frustration of the lack of control, that you can't actively directly make things happen. As Capricorns, they tend to like to have control, or like to make things happen. So it's quite hard when you're not in control to feel balanced or rational, especially if it's for something major. So yeah, this week you could be feeling stifled. So while we do have this waiting period, like I said, you can either sit around waiting, getting angry, or you can go and do something productive. How are you going to harness this energy? Are you going to get angry at everybody, or are you going to distract yourself and control elements that you can control? Go and have some fun. Go and have an adventure. Make sure the Page of Wands likes to go and play and have an adventure, a random adventure. Go to the beach. Go to the circus. Go somewhere. Maybe somebody wants to go to the skate park. Maybe there's a child that wants to go out and have an adventure, go in and learn a new skill, learn a new talent. Maybe this is you wanting to learn a new skill, learn a new talent. I mean, fire breathing is quite an amazing talent, but you don't play with that unless you have some form of guidance or know how to do it safely. So maybe it is you looking to tap into a new modality, a new passion, a thing that you've always wanted to do, and starting to look towards maybe committing towards learning that, or you discover that you have a new gift or a new talent coming in. Especially if you're a spirit worker, you may find that you have a new talent coming in, a clairsentience or a clairvoyance coming in. But yeah, this week is kind of that frustrating time, and it's how you harness those energies while we are waiting. Let's see what we have for the overall energy of this October. Why was I going to say December? Is there something to do with December coming up? I mean, other than your birthday? Maybe you're planning for Christmas. Maybe that's why it's come through with the planning card. It's looking ahead. Where do you want to be? You know this is a long road. Whatever it is you're waiting for, it's a big thing. So it's about planning how you're going to achieve the most that you can within it. You know it's going to be a hard path. It's going to be an arduous path. It's not easy. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. So I don't know if you're fighting for something and waiting for a decision, but once it's about planning all scenarios. When we're at the Two of Wands, we're planning our route to the top of the mountain. So you need to be planning for the smoothest route, but equally you need to be planning for obstacles and obstructions that may happen along the way, and how you're going to navigate those obstacles. What resources and other alternative plans do we have when these things come through? Some are foreseeable, and we can make sure we have supplies and support structures in place for when that happens, and some we have to make up a a way around them on the fly. We have to be creative and have creative solutions. But for the foreseeable ones, if you see a foreseeable hiccup that could come up, be prepared for it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying be prepared for it. So when it comes, there is an element of control to how you can respond to something that's not working out or something that's blocking you. A bit like this frustrated energy. Make sure that you have support systems in place or backup solutions in place in order to navigate these blockages and things that will be coming through. I hope that is of some use to you this month, Capricorn, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye for now.